Greetings, community. It's Gavin from 1-2 Comic Talk, and I hope you're well. It's time for that bags and boards type of thing. You may be thinking, wait a minute, didn't we just do this a couple weeks ago? Yeah, we did. I already went through 100 bags and boards. About to do it again. My lights. My lights is what I'm bag and boarding right now. In general, that's what I do this show is with my lights and to make certain announcements, which usually are so rare. That's as often as I buy the my lights. However, this time, kind of like last time, it's a little quicker than normal. One, announcements are getting a little more frequent because I've been coming up with more ideas for people and obviously for content for ourselves. And two, I've been going through a lot of books. We have an order of 98 books that are being shipped, which brings me to one of the points that I wanted to start talking about, which first, if I may, grab a board and grab a bag and start. Received a notification late this morning. And to you, the viewer, thank you for being here, that Wolverine Black, White, and Red had an error in the cover B. Now, I knew about this, but I wasn't certain if it was only exclusive to the cover B. As I'm understanding it to be right now, it is exclusive to the cover B that the error was done. I was glad to receive the notification because it stated not only something I had a suspect of, but it also made mention that an apology, they were going to give me a free corrected version. So they're not only had shipped out our order, but hey, Sam, I hope you're well. And happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right? Yeah. So I'm talking about the Black, White, and Red of Wolverine. Cover B has an error in the back. There's a misprint panel. I believe it's from Empire's End. And so if you're into the whole error, rarity, and all that other stuff, type aspects of collecting, that's one thing you might be on the lookout for. So like I stated, I have board, I have bag, and what I'm doing is doing the whole My Light thing. I know that I did just let's see, the 13th, if my memory serves correct. My brain's gone, but I believe if might have been when I ordered. I think I ordered on the 13th, so I might have did this just a couple of weeks ago. Anyways, point being, when I use my lights, I use them almost exclusive. Well, every signed book I have is either in a slab or excuse me, it's either in a slab or it's in a My Light. Hey, Agu, how you doing? Or it's in a top loader. So Agu, I didn't know if you heard me, and I was trying to explain this to Chad, but the book that he has is an air print book on that Wolverine book. So I wasn't just fucking with him. I really wasn't. In the back of it, he went all the way to the back. It's the second to the last page, I believe. If you look on that second to the last page, right-hand side panel, it's the Empire's End, I believe, is what's happening in there, even though it has nothing to do with the Wolverine Black, White, and Red. So that was what I was trying to get at. And I received a notification through DCBS stating that they acknowledged it, but they acknowledged it too late prior in which that they already shipped out our order. So I was pretty, stoked at the fact that, one, they made the acknowledgement, which solidified my suspicions, and two, they made statement that they're going to go ahead and ship me out a free fucking copy of the corrected edition. So hey, when you get a bonus plan, take it. That's my attitude. Shit. Wow. I do what I can, Agu. Hey, man, should I just drop the If you guys want, I'll drop the link in the chat. You get enough people yelling and screaming, I'll drop it in there. Again, all I'm going to do is just drop some stuff. But I have announcements, man. I just kind of, I don't know, since I had the cow, I wanted to milk it. You know what I mean? And then since I made the milk, I want to go ahead and hang out in the freezer and turn it a little bit and make some ice cream. So my point, I just want to hang out for a little bit because I have a fucking 100 bags and boards that I got to do. And before I actually made every single announcement, and then you guys just sit there and watch me just bag and board. That's boring as shit. But I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys picked up what you're looking for on the Wednesdays. Tell me what you're looking for on this Wednesday that you picked up. Tell me what you got. Tell me what you missed. Tell me what you're looking out for. And tell me if it's all bliss. Because I know that we've been going through some hell at the time. You know, everyone around have no reason and no rhyme. I'm not actually trying to do this consciously. I really... But it just seems like, you know, people are finding some reasons to just fucking go off on one another. And, you know, we don't always need that reason. So it's nice to know that we have our escape, sometimes with comics, sometimes with books of different forms, or even movies. But it's nice to know that, and nothing else what I was kind of getting at, we have each other as a distraction, you know, on our various channels, doing our various things. And I fucking dig that. So when you get on, cool. I'll be here. Like I said, I got plenty to do. So one of the things I want to bring up is I actually just want to bring up other channels for a moment. One, I know that K Titus has been blasting through and gaining popularity. You ever notice he's on everybody's channel? Pretty cool of him. He's one of those people that just seems to be everywhere at once, which is damn right impressive. And if you don't know much background story about this guy, he's been traveling the world, and more times than not, every time he lands somewhere, he ends up helping people out. And that's pretty interesting and pretty awesome. He speaks multiple languages, and it seems that every time he goes to another country, his heart grows a little bit bigger. It's something to not necessarily just aspire to, but he actually inspires people to aspire to things like that and others, you know, and that's freaking cool, man. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and throw one of these announcements out there. All right. So let's start with Z. Z, I know that you've got an auction coming up, and I don't know if you guys know that he used to do those auctions all the time on Friday nights, and he's got him coming back. And he's got the old crew together. And I know they, meaning all his panel members, all the sellers, even I would imagine all you buyers are looking forward to his return. He's a great guy to work with. He's a great guy in general. And what I'm getting at is I've been speaking with him, and I had come up with an idea a while back ago, and I was just waiting for the right time, meaning when I had the right amount of books, and the right way, I guess, I didn't want to say quote unquote pitch, but you know what I mean? To go ahead and, hey, I've not picked my comics up this week, but between my wife and I, we were reading 22 times. Wow, you have the same problem I do. Yeah, I get you, and I feel you. You know, after a while, you got to start selling the neighbors like aluminum cans, or start taking the brass piping from underneath their house and selling. I'm just kidding. So what I was getting at with Z is that I've actually, you know, because of how many books that we're getting in, like I said, you know, our shipment of 98 books are coming, and that's not including the exclusives I have from other places that are coming in. I have a Scout book. Source Point Press box coming in. I got all kinds of shit. So I have to get rid of things. Now, those of you that know me, I'm not the stereotypical individual. So I want to create something different. So in doing so, I've created 2 new shows that I want to debut as far as selling. One is totally unique and different. Never been done before, in the sense of what Z and I were talking about, what he was able to do even on the fly when we were just talking. He was starting to build this shit, and it was fun. That's the idea. I don't know what day he wants to debut this thing. More than likely, thanks, Kev. I'm not a You're welcome. I don't know what day we're going to settle on. More likely it would be a Saturday, but you know, expect a very carnival-esque style atmosphere. We're going to have fun. That's the idea. Is if you know me, I'm kind of a laid back rather mellow kind of guy. And hey, Rod, how you doing, brother? And I just wanted to create something that was kind of mellow, but had a lot of momentum and feel of having fun and not what everyone else is doing, because I'm not pooing on anybody's parade. I got enough shit going on in my own circus. What I want to do is just offer another option, another alternative to what's already out there. And I wanted to offer at a time which that hopefully we can all hang out and have a good time in it. That's the goal, is beyond just buying books, which is there's enough of the shows out there. I wanted to have fun, so working with Z the other day, and I hope that he watches this on the rewind, because in part, I think this is a sideways apology, which I definitely will offer him directly. I was so excited that I never offered him too much room to actually speak. And hey, Mad Mike, how you doing, man? Hey, anybody wants, I can go ahead and drop the link down there. We start building up a crew. I'll drop it. Just tell me if you want to jump on. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be back and boarding. That I want to tell Z, hey, I know I was really excited, and I'm kind of sorry if I was speaking over you too often, because I wanted. It was after 10:30 that we were starting to finish up. I know it was around 9:45-ish that we were first speaking, and I wanted to kind of quickly convey as much as I could in a linear path from beginning in, as much as I had in my mind, if that makes sense. Because you know how it is. You can slightly just get distracted. Next thing you know, that small deviation, now you're fucking talking about, stars and moon. You can't even get back to any type of coherence, and I didn't want to go there. So I was getting a little wordy, as I can do at times. Just checking on a couple of things. I'm getting ring-a-dinging a lot, and I just want to make sure everyone's good. Everyone's good, and everyone's good. So yeah, back to what I was basically saying. I am going to drop this thing in, and yeah, I'll be working with Z rather soon, and on a whole new show. Yes, it will be selling books. No, it won't be in the conventional manner in which that you're used to. Yes, it's going to be fun as hell, and you guys already know what I have to offer as far as books. You kind of know what I'm into. Fucking everything. I and what I want to do is down the road end up selling, little mini runs, because I do a lot of indies. So, anywhere from like 3 to shit. Indies don't usually go a whole 6. A lot of times they'll end around 5, or earlier. 3 to 5 is usually what it is. Herminio, how you doing, man? Hope you are doing well. And happy Thursday to everyone. You guys have been working. I appreciate the fact that you've been working in this less than ideal scenario of work, not only in conditions, but just, again, how, we're all in this together. Just, I guess that's the best way to put it. So, Sam, hey, you know what, guys? Let's do this in a formal and correct manner. Let's do a whole real shout out on the chat. Sam, I appreciate you being here. Agu, hey, I know you're driving or you're on your way, and please don't let me be too much of a distraction. Keep your eyes on the road if you are driving. Appreciate you, sir. So, Rod, I hope you're still hanging out with me. And I saw you jumping around, man. You've been busy, and I saw your books. I'm trying to remember a couple of the things that you had that I had. Mike, appreciate you being here. I don't think he was mad as you lead everyone to be on the B, I should say. And Herminio, brother. Hey, you know what? Speaking of, has anyone talked to Carolina Chris? I haven't seen him in the past few days. I reached out just on Instagram. I don't have his a phone or anything. Just want to know if he's all right. If those which out there know, type in the chat, please. If you guys seen Chris, Carolina Chris, in the past 2 days, 3 days. I had thrown a package out there to him. He was looking for a few books I had access to. I just threw him out there as an A-OK so that to make sure that he didn't have to have any concerns about money, just to get the books that he was looking for. You know what I mean? And I've not heard from him. In accordance to the information on my little postal thing, I believe it arrived. I just want to verify that he's okay. Books are secondary. So if anyone knows, I appreciate it. Anyone out there knows what's going on in the world? Don't talk politics. In the world that's happening, what I will say is my wife has actually expressed interest. Not only just inside of watching the Star Wars all 9, but all the little side bits too. Blew my mind. She said, hey, what would it take for us to sit down and watch this? So I was going over some of the, I guess, time requirements, understanding, breakdown, all that type of shit. What I think would best work out to be. Yo, Rod. Sir. How are you?
What's going on?
Great to see you, Rod. You're looking good, man. Loving the hat.
Yeah, man. I like to try to block out some of the. Wait a minute. That's my bad. Trying to block out some of the light from the head. That's all.
Gotcha. Okay, I see what you're doing. Nah, it's not that shiny. Come on. We can throw a little powder on there. I can call makeup in right now. Hey, makeup. Hey, Cap, aggressively. So, hey, how you been, Rod? I saw you whip out a couple books earlier today.
Yeah, man. I was showing off some books I picked up yesterday. I still got them here. Man, it's just I picked up I got my pre-order books the other day. They dropped them off on a Sunday, Kev, and I was like, yeah, that happens all the time. I don't know why. I heard the dog barking, and I'm trying to figure out why she's barking. It's so early in the morning. So like I said, I got them Sunday, and I made the video yesterday. So I dropped that yesterday, and I know you're expecting a nice shipment from DCBS.
My shipments have been coming. Remember yours and mine. We used to line up.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they got me a week off of you, away from. Let me start over. A week away from your time period, and it's really odd, But I'm not complaining as much as I. Yes, I am stating that. Yeah. When I was first on your show and you had me on and we did an unboxing, I probably did 17, 18 books. The shipment that's coming to me now is 98.
In my box had like probably 3 hot garbage water books. I was just like, what kind of unboxing is this?
Well, no, you had some good books, man. What I'm thinking about
like 2 or 3 or 4, man. It was so small. I was so disappointed.
When you have as many books coming in as I do, you're getting hot garbage water too. You're getting everything. It's kind of like taking 1,000 darts and throwing them at a dartboard at once. You're gonna fucking hit a bullseye eventually with one of those things. So yeah, I've been finding so much joy in not necessarily just buying these books and boxing them up, but I'm reading so much. I've just caught up to all of my reading from last time.
Nice.
And now I'm about to get a shipment in.
It does kind of suck once you get caught up in your reading, because I was caught up with my reading, and then I get the shipment from DCBS, and then I got my new books from yesterday. So I'm like, all right, so where do I start? I got this from yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And then my DCBS, I could kind of lean over. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
And then I have that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just like, but I actually I upgraded my bags and boards on DCBS. I went to the Mylates or Mylars, whatever you want to call 'em.
Yeah, the My Lights. Yeah.
I love them, dude. I think I don't care for a few extra cents, and then I could.
That's what these are.
Are you doing it too? All right.
That's what the show is. Yeah, My Lights. Basically, I'm just stuffing My Lights.
And then what I do is it's like if I look at one of my older books that should be in one of these beautiful bags and boards, I'll just replace them. So that's why I do it too. So
Everything you just said, you know what? With the boards that the bags and boards that we get, from our pre-orders, I take those off, and I use Silver Age regular bags and boards, and I replace it with those. But those bags and boards that I take off, I take them to 3 different shops. I divvy them out to 3 different places. They give me a discount on my books.
oh wow.
And I bring in my own bags and boards for their books. Hey, Z, how you doing, brother? And I get a bigger discount. So when I make a request, sometimes my request is, I don't want the discount. And they say, what do you mean? I say, you know what I mean. You got a book coming in 5 weeks, or you got a book coming in 6 weeks, or I want my name on that one. You charge me with, what we can negotiate on a price, but don't sell it underneath me. I want that book now. Here's your bags and boards.
Yo, dude, man.
I got a few different methods that I employ to make sure I get the stuff I really, really want.
Yeah. Hold on. This dog needs your ball. Hold
on. Zena, not too much. Well, I did make the announcement that you and I will be working on a show together. And that also made the announcement that you're having an auction this Friday, and they need to be looking out for that because it's all the old gang. So that's about the only thing. And me and Rod just talking about 1, how much I miss them now, and 2, just boards, bags, and pre-orders. Pretty much sums it up.
I just been a little busy. I did the show today at 6:30, and then I'm gonna jump on John Combs with his. He's got his books back from Clean and Press, and he wants to send them to CGC, and then he's gonna have the Slap Dragon himself, TJ Watson. So I'm trying to stay awake, and this is early. I mean, it's only 8:14 my time, but if I sit down or lay down somewhere, not doing something, I probably fall asleep. So,
well, cool. Maybe I can keep you going for a while. You know what I mean? Hang out with me, and we'll try to segue right through to their show. Because I wanted to see that too. I'm curious what books John chose. He's
got a stack, dude.
And then I'm curious his reasoning. You know what I mean? And I have an array of questions that, it's a plethora. It's a bouquet of questions I got ready and picked just for him.
Yeah. I got a few questions too, and I grabbed a not a bag of board, but a back, and I was gonna start writing them down. They're running through my head, and I hung out with John the first time he was doing this on TJ, and it was the first time myself just hanging out with TJ doing that show. I was kind of nervous because TJ is he's so serious, man. And after a while, I just kind of got the flow, and he's a cool dude. And he was actually able to hang out on my channel, and he was just there, just showing off his slab collection. It was a beautiful thing to see. Yeah, he's awesome.
his knowledge is insane. You know what I mean? It's incredible. And now, so I got some questions for you. Let me hit you up on a couple of questions, if I may, Rod.
All right.
Hey, you know me. I ain't gonna put you on no spot. No, it's all. No, like for instance, you have slabs. So how many slabs do you have?
I could look at in front of me right now. I got 4. I got a first appearance Carnage slab. That's a 9.4.
Damn,
What do I got? I had to get that one from L1. I bought that one from L1. I
that's
got.
awesome.
I got. Um, Good Lord, I have a brain for Marvel team ups. Black Outfit, Spider Man. What issue is that?
252 or
Yeah.
Secret Wars 8.
Oh, hold on. It's gonna kill me. I gotta stand up.
Sorry. Yeah, Z. Oh, the other thing, Z, since I do have you, is I actually made a proclamation apology to the community as if it was sideways and I was making it to you. So I want to make it to you. The day that I had you and we were talking, I was just talking so much because I was excited, Z. So if I in any way was talking over you or anything like that, it was just because I was trying to get my idea across. So my apologies, sir, if I seem a little rude. Go ahead, Rod.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Okay. God, man. See, I don't even have that.
This was an AOK. This was given to me from Steve Whiting. He's here in Florida, and one day he said, I don't collect Marvel team ups." So he gives me this slab with a bunch of raw books of Marvel team ups, and he just goes, "Here, man." And Steve Whiting is a cool dude out here, and he's out there in Tampa, next to around Perry's area, around there.
Oh, okay. So he's not too far from you.
Uh, uh maybe an hour, 45 to an hour.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Yeah, not too shabby.
Sometimes things like that are just an excuse to go to another shop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I don't know if you saw my last journey, but I was giving basically a community an idea of all the different shops that I go to. So my Wednesday yesterday, I ended up going to 3 shops, but what I didn't show everybody is I ended up calling up 2 other ones just to see how they're doing, if I had to be there or not. They're like, "Oh no, you're good."
No,
Yeah.
actually, I remember when I went to the comic book shop when the whole COVID started, and I think a month or 2 later, I walk into my shop, Dombrowski's, Winter Haven, Florida. Ryan, the LCS owner there, and
Nice.
and then he goes, "Oh, there's something special for you," and he has the little, I guess I'll call it a gift card, and he had it in a bag and board, and then he goes, "Oh, this is for you," and I was like, "What? What is it?" Until I flip it over, and then I see 1-2 Comic Talk. But when I walked in, when I saw his face, he just smiled at me, and I was just like, "What's up, Ryan?" He's like, What's up, Ryan?" He just goes, "What's up?" He's so humble. He's one of the coolest dudes ever. And then when he gave it to me, he just kept looking at me, and I said, "Oh, 1-2 that Comic Talk, man." I was laughing. He enjoyed it. He laughed so hard. Whoa! Holy!
Hey,
Whoa! What is
I
going
do.
on?
Rod, it's about time, sir.
Oh shit, dude! What the? Yo!
And Kev, it's about time, Kev. I
Hey,
miss
no
those. I
doubt,
miss the
sir.
invites every once in a while. I went from not being employed to being hell of employed, and
It's all
Dude, I
good,
had that
brother.
shirt on yesterday, man. I had the same shirt on all day yesterday.
I just got home and showered, and I was listening. I was getting home from work, right? So I was like, I'm listening to you in the shower, and I'm like, oh, I hear the reeking. Oh, I know what shirt to put on. I know what shirt to put on. I know what shirt.
Oh man. Oh,
Anyway,
man.
yeah, man. Sorry, yeah, man. Good stuff.
No apologies
Man,
necessary.
I was all
It's great to
prepared to
see
talk
you.
about my lights and brands and sizes, and then you guys went into slabs. I was like, oh, let me get one out real quick. So I got one out real quick, and
Yeah.
and the answer I have about 50, maybe 50.
Oh, really? All right. All right. Okay, so did you? Okay, I don't know if you heard. I was throwing a little, and I'm going to say it again since John and TJ are going to be on tonight.
Huh.
I was making this breakdown basically that anyone from 0 to 10, you're a beginner, and you always make mistakes in your first like 10 to 20, slabs. You don't clean them, or you have other people do the work for you, and you realize I just spent way too much money when I didn't need to. There's so many things to learn, and it's very intimidating. So it's not until you hit that after 20 realm to around 50 that you now become this genuine novice. You know what I mean? You have a good feel, you know people, you talked around. From that 50 to around 99 level, you're like this I won't say master, but a person that really understands, people, you've got connections. If you're not already pressing and cleaning your own stuff, people, you have more than one person more than likely. You've sent in at least half of your own shit. You know what I mean? So after you hit 100 and over, you are officially a slab dragon. You're not TJ the slab dragon, but you are now that realm of you can actually offer information, you can give advice, you've probably traveled to other states and already submitted, you know what I mean? So it is a different journey all its own. That's why I think what I'm really getting at. And so being that John and TJ are doing this, and I'm less than that 50 realm, I'm just over that like 35 realm, maybe 40, that
Yeah.
I'm just getting my feet wet of understanding this shit. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
Yeah, and then okay. Then you start understanding it, and then guess what the industry does? Hey guys, we have a new slab. Hey guys, we have a new way of encasing it. Hey guys, this slab is so much better. Hey, this one guy was dunking them in water. He was dunking them in water.
I seen that.
Yeah, the case is gonna get messed up, but the comic's gonna be okay.
Huh.
I don't know, man.
Right? No, but yeah, no. I have this. This one is a slab box, and that one's an Amazon box that has some slabs in it, and it's not completely full because I have those magazine size, the Black Label. I have some of the Black Label in there. I have what is it, Damned and Harley Quinn, is in there. So it's like, I'm getting there.
For those, I actually bought I have two regular magazine boxes. I have two slab boxes. Those are dedicated for slabs. And then once I get my CBCS slabs in, I'm going to start separating my CBS slabs from my CGC slabs because they're always fighting inside the fucking boxes, and I got to separate. It's terrible.
And I hope I don't see myself buying that many magazine size comics, So I was like, oh, this one fits. All right, cool. There's that gap, like that 4 or 5 inch gap or whatever it is.
And that's, what? You would think that the industry, oh, look at that. You would think that the industry would listen to us, you know what I mean? But then they drop like the last Ronin on us, and we're like, what the hell? We're supposed to put this in.
You heard me asking. I was like, what? A golden age?
You
said magazine. So I had to whip out first appearance of the White Tiger, man.
And that's a great example. It's so difficult to find a good place for something like that.
So
that looks in great
comic books, man. White. Oh, you don't see them here. Of course, that's Iron Fist. But when you flip through the pages, it is all black and white. It is one of my best prized possessions I have. I have to say, Comic Food 2814 hooked me up with that book, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
I have a Vampirella that's black and white, and I won it from Barbarian on one of his giveaways. And hey, what's in the mag? What's in the? Would you buy this time? The misses, right? And I'm like, well, it was a giveaway. Uh-huh. It's a giveaway. I'm like, look, it's it's Vampirella, huh? You're getting that now, huh?
Yeah, she saw I had a Vampy book. It was the 25th anniversary, and she was like, she just goes, and this now. I was like, it's just one issue. It's just one issue.
Yeah, hey, I blame her. She's the one that led me into this rabbit hole. Okay, she's the one that bought me my first graphic novel and encouraged me to do comics. I don't think she thought I would go.
Well, our house got broken into in 2016, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, but prior to that, I wanted to get back into the comics. So when that happened, like 2 weeks later, I told my buddy, and I've said the story before. I was like, yo, man, I gotta get out. He goes, shop, let's go to the LCS. So I told the wife, I was like, how much can I spend? She's like, well, you can spend about 150 if you want. I was like, hell no. I'm thinking prices, still 125, 150. And I walk in there, they're like 299, three or four, whatever. Man, I think I dropped like 400. And it was all hell.
Oh,
Found dollar pins and
man, Rod was playing catch up for sure. He's like, hey.
I was like a kid in the candy store, man.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah. No,
Well,
so
I have to admit, when I first got
easy
back
to do.
in for my second time, I had no idea where to begin again. You know what I mean? Because the last time I got back in, I felt burnt by Defiant, Valiant, some of the Image stuff. I was back. A lot of these people were actually not just people that were hanging around or books that I were buying. Some of these people were friends, So when all these publishers went away, a lot of my friends went away, and I couldn't afford, even just to buy books anymore because, I was trying to grow up. Luckily I could be a kid again. Now this is my chance to kind of be a kid again with my kid, so.
yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know where to begin is what I was getting at, So after I guess about 2 to 3 months and learning of online buying and stuff like that, it became so easy to go, oh, I could just go blip, blip, blip.
That's one thing I've learned is like it's okay to slow down. But of course you're like, I don't want to miss out. Are you guys sure? Like, dude, they printed millions of these books. No, they didn't. It's only like 500,000. You know how many 500,000? It's a lot.
Exactly.
So yeah, you gotta pace yourself a little bit, and it's one of those things where you hear it, but sometimes you have to experience it too.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, is this guy telling me to pace myself so he can have first dibs on something? What's going on?
Well, I had a neat little conversation with Bubs, and Bubs was talking about how he's been so focused lately in his buying, and how he's been really disciplined on only doing certain books. He's getting rid of others. So I was applauding him for his discipline about that, and I was like, you know what? So this was my litmus test to see if one, I even had that discipline. Is the whole book that everybody bought. Which, if I would say this Wednesday, what book would you say everybody bought?
Oh, crossover.
Right. I didn't.
Yeah. I needed that. No.
Oh, see? Well, and that was my first little, can I purposely not even get near the bandwagon? Well, I mean, I don't mind talking about stuff I'm not into. More the merrier. That way I know if it was something I would have possibly been interested in, which let's get things straight now to everyone out there. I am a reading slut. I like almost everything. I really do.
It's a good distraction. Good distraction.
One, and it's just I don't know. I guess maybe it really boils down to that, Agu. I guess I enjoy other people's distractions for me. And I think what they were trying to relay in their messages in the sense of, I get that part of them that they were trying to convey in their story. I get it, you know?
Mhm.
So I kind of tend to fall in love with that, even if a story is fucking hot doo-doo water, man.
Well, I did.
Speaking of crossover,
I did get it. I did get it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I want to give it, one quick read and
Yeah.
figure it out. Just I had to, and I got the variant. So what? I don't flip books or all that stuff. So
I
it's-
need to start. Otherwise, this is gonna be my only bedroom.
hey, at least you got a bedroom. I got a sunroom, man. I got a sunroom. I got to block all the sunlight and leave
Yeah.
the door open. Let the AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those blue curtains in the background, Amazon blackout lights, Yeah. Oh man, I was like, oh, there is things like this do exist. Awesome. All right.
Well, I have come up with a couple ideas. One of the ideas is this: you really don't need a whole lot of clothes, so you can empty out those dressers. That's one, right? Agu, you did the same thing back there, right?
Yep.
And then
You know
two,
what's so amazing? Since you mentioned the dresser,
yeah,
man, I've had that since like 04. IKEA 04. I didn't think that lasts that long.
That's that good stuff, man. That's
Right.
That's the real wood right there, man.
Particle board and cardboard. Nice. Anyway, but yes.
it works.
Empty. I might, I just need to, buy a couple of these shirts, little Superman shirt, Batman shirt, and I'll be like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I shower, I do laundry. It's cool.
Right, you're good. And now the other thing is too, box springs, and like bed frames, overrated. You don't need them.
Overrated.
You don't need them. What you do is you go ahead and you can take that out. You can actually cut out the framing to where it'll fit just above your board. You can make dressers that pull out with your shit in there. Think about both sides of your bed can pull out with boards and with books. If nothing else, you can throw slabs in there and you can hide them. Now people don't know where your shit is and lock them down. Ha ha ha.
1-2 Comic Talk dropping IDY.
So now you've opened up room. You know what I mean? Hey, look, I'm telling you, everyone can say the same thing, and we all do. We're like, oh, I got to get rid of books. I don't have enough room. I'm telling you, none of us have too many books. We just have too little room. So what we have to do is we just have to think about the room that we have in a different way. That's all I'm saying. The kids, we don't really need them. We need their room. I'm kidding.
Don't piss off Kai. He's gonna come do a drop kick on you, man.
That, and even my daughter and her boyfriend they've almost been competing with me. They're buying almost as many books as I am. My house is getting really small really fast.
It'll become a museum.
I hope not.
At my previous job, one of my previous jobs, I used to sell insurance. So the double check one. And one of the clients, he had a barn full. I'm not kidding. A barn full of comics. A barn. You could fit like 6 cars. Comics. 2 level. But he owned a shop back like in the 70s or whatever.
Oh.
So he kept every single Batman. He has like multiple Batmans and stuff. He has a Batman 1. He has a Detective 27. We weren't able to see that. They were in the safe. But he had his toys. He had his G.I. Joes. I'm like, dude, that's cool, but you didn't play with them. Like in the package?
Not at all.
No, like, dude, you didn't play with them. Like now you hear about, oh, that's collectible now. Like right here, were people back in like in the 50s saying, hey, dude, that could be collectible. Don't play with your toys. Were they saying that?
This is what I will tell you. In 1976, I was 7 years old. And that's where I came to the realization that, yes, you can spec on books. At the age of 7 years old, in 1976 came to that realization. So I would imagine I don't consider myself that smart. So if a child came up with that idea back then, I would imagine people were looking, they were coming across the realization that between the recyclings going on and all that, because I grew up also with my grandfather with a garage full of newspapers that he would always do recycles. And so they were doing that with all paper, comics, remember newsstands were just fucking throwing stuff out onto the street. So all that stuff was destroyed. So there were people going, and I do know this to be true of a couple of people that own some of the newsstand shops in Hollywood. People were purposely going through some of the books and putting them off to the side because they knew that they had newsstands, and newsstands were just books that were being thrown on the street. So if any of the books had a turnaround, which people already knew, Batman, Superman already was hot, characters already in the 60s. People in the late 60s, early 70s were already saving good books.
Yeah, makes sense.
I was bagging boarding. At the age of 7, I was bagging boarding.
Wow.
Every book.
Like, weren't kids just putting them in the shoebox? Oh, here you go. Underneath my bed.
They were always...
No, not Kevin. It was a bagging and boarding.
They were in an orange box. I always had those orange boxes, and they were in orange boxes. They were double thick corrugated, so they wouldn't, flop around.
The only orange boxes I know, I think, were Nike back in the day.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think about. Orange boxes, man.
Nike Cortezes, huh?
There you go.
The odd thing is,
I bet Kev still rocks them right now. He has Nike Cortezes on right now. Come on, Kev. Show them off, dude. Yeah, I know you do. No, the only time I thought about, this might be worth something, is like the football cards. Back in middle school and stuff. And some guys really just took the packs, bought them all, and then would sell the cards. Like, oh no, I could find one. No, I never did. So I was the guy buying that from my friends. Oh, okay, cool. I'll buy this Dallas Cowboy. I'll buy this Seattle Seahawk or whatever. But yeah, I think it is that's a different mindset. My younger brother, he's more of that business type too. Yeah, he's like, what? I could buy this for $2 and sell it for 30. Oh, dude, here you go.
Well, it was a matter of the way he had the shop arranged. Because, and Rod, you may remember some of this when I walked into a shop. Most shops are modeled the same way. You walked into the shop, they had their new books were actually on a stand or on the turnstile. Yeah, and the books that were now 2 weeks to, let's say, 2 months old, they were on like a little back rack area. And then everything else were basically in boxes. So
yeah, that's the way they did it. Yeah.
Right. So, and then if you recall, there was a breakdown of such, meaning it was the new price. So let's say, for me, it was a quarter, so it was either a quarter, or if it was now the 2 weeks to 2 months old, that was 20 cents. And if they were in the boxes, depending on what they were anywhere from 5 cents all the way up to 50 cents, depending on what it was. But so just by looking at that, I was like, wait, on the same book that has the same cover price, there's a different price. So when I walked up to the area where he had his cash register and right at the counter, I looked in front of me and I noticed other books that had the same cover price or even less, 12 cents, 10 cents, that were like $1 or $1.25. I'm like, I'm not. So he explained to me as this old man, and then I looked above his head, and there was Howard the Duck back then for like $2, and it just like come out or something like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is up with that? Well, how can a book come out for 25 cents be going for 8 times the amount? And he supply, demand, all that other stuff. And that, again, 7-year-old kid, I was like, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah, there's a switch there that turned on. Yeah, no, my brother, when it came to math, really good. How? He made it just dollars and cents. He would use analogies in his head, dollars and cents. Like he thought about it money. I'm sitting there cracking my head. Ama, I don't get it. Ama, I don't get it. I don't get it. And then here comes my little brother. Oh, done.
And here I am. $4. Okay.
Hey
Yeah.
Rod, hey, and this could good go for you, Kev. You know, because you're California, right?
Yep.
So did your parents ever do the beans? Look, mijo, look, and get out some beans and look. See this one row, and then another row, but this row you only do 3, and this row was 5. So how many do you have?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, so the road that's in front of me here is called Marine, but we changed it because we wanted to go ahead and not call it what we want, what it used to be called, which is Compton Boulevard. I grew up on the corner of Inglewood Avenue and Compton.
Oh wow!
So South Central,
yeah,
that's just right down there.
Oh,
all the stuff you hear, all the gang banging shit, all the other stuff. I grew up in this shit. But again,
man.
Again, you only have to go a block away. So I go 2 blocks over there. That's Manhattan Beach, California. So the homes over there are $5, $6, $10, $15 million, depending on how close you get to the beach. You know, so what I'm getting at is, oh yeah, I know it's like to sit there and go, okay, how many beans do we got? No. We did it with government cheese, man. How long can we make cheese last? Can we take half and actually try to melt it and eat it and sell the other half to our next door neighbor and get some beans? Because they didn't sell the beans. So I was like, okay, we're good, right? We're good.
That's funny. I have an uncle in Torrance.
Oh, okay.
I lived in 07, 05, 06, 07. I lived in Linwood.
Okay.
And Gabby's from East Los. And I actually grew up in Walnut Park a little bit when I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah. My brother was born in Linwood, and I have another brother who's born in Fountain Valley. Valley.
All right.
Yeah, so when you just said it, I was like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right here.
Because us from Linwood, we drive out to we become tourists over there on the other side, Hawthorne and stuff. Let's go that way. Let's go to Hawthorne.
Exactly. Exactly. And see, Hawthorne is my next block over.
Yeah.
I'm in this Bodger Park area, and we're in this weird little, and I'm technically we're Lawndale, so you probably heard of Lawndale, right?
Okay.
That's usually not a best name right there. So I'm in Lawndale, but we're incorporated, so we are LA County ran, but we have the Lawndale zip, but we're called El Camino Village because of the college across the street at El Camino College.
Yep.
So we're confused.
And when I was there, actually, I worked in Florence and have cousin in Watts. So I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was like, nah, whatever. LAPD and all these shows, nah, that's not true. Man, 2 weeks after I moved in, there was a torched Escalade, brand new Escalade that got torched a block away from my cousin. I was like, hey primo, hey, what's going on over here? It's like, yeah, dude, it must have been a drug car or something. I was like, what? Yeah, dude, that's how they get rid of the fingerprints. No way, man. That's like CSI. It's real.
I
thought it was like movie crap, Rod. I was like, nah.
That was dropping off a lot. Wasn't supposed to be dropping off a lot in that area. So that was their way of saying, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, and I thought 20-inch rims were awesome. And then my cousin's like, nah. Those are old 22s now. I was like, what? Yeah. 22?
Yeah. Those. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, no, dubs are old. I was like, what? What do you mean? They just came out in Washington. What do you mean they're old?
Yup. That's right. But again, I grew up in this area, so I knew all the sides because I grew up and surfed, and so I skated. So everyone from like Tony Hawk to Christian Slater to it was Christian Asoy back actually skating, and then all that. Anyways, and then it was actually Widener. It was the guy I was hanging out with, surfing with, and then all the boys back in the day of over rapping and thumping and. Yeah, because I used to, I was Baby Locals, London 13. So I I grew up. Yeah, I have a colorful background, man.
No, so I grew up there from like 83 to 89. And then,
Oh
later
wow.
on I moved, down there to work for a little bit. And at 5 a.m., there's no cholos on the street. So I'm riding my bike. I'm cool. And I was like, you know what, in the afternoon, you know what, let me skip Alameda because Alameda was my main drag or whatever. Let me go over here. I go to Home Street. I was like, no. All these guys wearing a different color red started coming up after me. And I was like, buenos dias. Hasta luego. I pretended not to know a lick of what they were saying, man. I just started pedaling. I was like, I'm good. I'm good.
Absolutely.
I'm a grown ass man. I'm like,
Yo, that is. No
my
wonder
cousin is like,
that
dude, why
shirt
didn't you
on,
tell me?
man.
He goes, oh yeah, dude. Oh, Watts, yeah. That's the Crips over there. Oh, that's the Bloods way. Don't go over there. I'm like, dude, you could have told me this. I thought you knew.
And,
I'm like, how come? I didn't. What do you mean? I did not know this.
and
Yeah,
being
when
as white as I am,
all that started back in, I remember back in, it was like in 2000, I was dating my first ex-wife, and I'm from Philly. I used to go to New York. So here I am, I got my rings on. I'm rocking out my Flyers jersey, and the Flyers about to play the Rangers in the finals. And she's like, "You might not want to wear that stuff around here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "The Bloods and Crips." And I was like, "Are you telling me I can't wear my jewelry and my jersey?" She was like, "Yeah, it's not a good idea." I'm just like, I'm
No.
wearing my damn jersey no matter what. I took off my jewelry, but I still
Yeah.
wear my damn jersey. But
Yeah. No.
she was Dominican. I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But she was scared out her mind. I was just like, I'm wearing it. I don't care.
No.
So
Luckily, for the most part, my shirts are blue. You know. And then luckily, I would wear purple. Because of the Huskies.
okay.
But yeah, man. Yeah, you don't want to. I can't wear this. Like, I can't wear this over there. Where my cousin lives, I can't wear this. I can't wear this. I'm like, look, it means nerd, okay? It means nerd. Nerd. Uh-uh.
yo,
Exactly.
I gotta bounce out. I gotta get some questions ready for TJ the Slab Dragon, man.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Hey, I'll more likely it's at 7 o'clock, right, Rod?
It should be 7 o'clock. I guess you're what
Pacific.
10 Eastern my time. So
7
yeah.
Pacific. Yeah. All right. I'll definitely
Yo,
be there.
Kev, man, thanks for letting me hang out with you. Yo, Agu Ramos, we gotta hang out, man. Let's do something, bro.
All right, man. Sounds good. Sounds
All
good.
right, man. Take care, guys. Be safe.
All right.
Peace, love, and
Take
hair
care,
grease, man.
Thank you. I
Later, Rod.
appreciate you being here. Later, Rod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small
I
world,
definitely
man.
have to
Small
say that-
world. Small world.
yeah, well, I was gonna say I definitely have to say that you definitely know the area.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and then Firestone. I was like, what? Firestone? I was like, you gotta, gauge. You gotta learn the streets a little bit.
Yeah.
Those run forever. You're either go on Western, you go to Eastern. Yeah, no, and it's funny. Yeah, so so I lived where the 710 and I lived right off the 710 and the 105. And my girlfriend grew up off the 60 and the 710.
Oh,
So
okay. Way
yeah,
out there, almost like that Altadena, Pasadena type area.
so she was she was back there. So but yeah, no, I do miss King Taco, man. I miss King Taco.
Oh yeah, hey, that's the thing is you have when you're in areas like this, you have so much variety of shit. You know what I mean? And then there are times and places that are like, oh, well, I mean, not right now, but where you're like, hey,
Yeah.
man, it's 2 a.m. All right, no, you don't get it. Oh, the taco place over at da 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 da. Those are the cooks you want.
Yeah,
Like, what do you mean? Those after? Just follow me, man. Just come
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
there's all kinds of places in LA like that where the food doesn't get good until like 2, 3, 4 a.m. And not just because you're hammered, just because those are when the good cooks come in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they have like the giant grills with chicken on it. They start doing that. Like, and that smell, man. it gets to you. Yeah, no, they know what they're doing, and yeah, variety's cool. And one way we used to joke is like, hey, you know that place is good because cops are showing up.
Exactly.
They know good food.
Exactly.
They know
And
good
that-
food. Hey, the sheriff's department goes there. Yeah, it's a good place. It's a good place. But when I went, I was looking up I guess it's kind of related to cops, but I was looking for Krispy Kreme, and the one that was
yeah.
near me, they closed. I was like, oh man,
Huh.
or moved it or whatever. But yeah, I didn't have Krispy Kreme in Los Angeles. I didn't.
That's weird. Well, I mean, they're all over around here, and because of the whole COVID situation, they were having a couple sales during the time where you know how it is where normally there was a line outside the door, plus there's cars. Well, being that you couldn't be outside any door,
Yeah.
cars were. I kind of screwed up because I didn't take any pictures. I really wish I could have had a drone or something like that because it was over a quarter a mile to the end of the block. And then it looked like it was going another quarter mile down the way. I told my daughter, I looked at that and I said, fuck no.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Even the McDonald's lines are getting long, and they have a couple kids out there with a little tablet and a microphone, and they're taking your order and that sort of thing.
In-N-Out style.
Yeah.
That's how In-N-Out does their stuff all the time. When they get busy.
Yeah.
You miss In-N-Out burgers? You got In-N-Out burgers?
Oh,
No.
at the mall, there's a California burger.
No.
So they try to, no. Yeah, there's no In-N-Out, man. There's no In-N-Out.
So what do you do for a good burger then?
What is a good burger here? They have Bob's Burgers and Brew.
Okay.
So they have that. I think they got me at the brew part. They got me at the brew part.
And that's the thing is when you have a bar burger, any type of grill bar burger style, any bar, if you find a good place that does it, those tend to be the good places. I like.
We have a good cheap one, if that makes any sense. But the chat might go after me later on. But it's we have Dick's. We have Dick's hamburgers here in Seattle.
Yeah, I know that place. Yeah.
Yeah. So so there's some on the east side of the state in Spokane, and then all over here in Seattle, and it's all right for what it is. But man, the soda's good. Soda's awesome. And when I go in there, I'm like, oh, dude, I want salt, so I get the fries. Get good salt. I'm sure if you look at the calorie count and the composition and all that stuff, it's not bad.
No, no, you can't look at shit like that. When you go you can't. No.
Yeah,
it's kind of like when you're going into Thanksgiving and going, okay, I got my calorie counter here. Are you kidding me? Fucking burn that thing.
And when you're sitting back and you're doing this, and then you go back for more,
Yeah. There's a reason why you wear sweatpants on Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, hey, you were saying that you're thinking about selling books. Have you ever sold books before?
I tried and crashed.
And what does that mean?
So I tried this the YouTube thing here with one of the members here, and at the time he was getting bad press.
Oh.
So because I was on his channel and he had bad press and I'm a newbie, guess what? We're not gonna buy shit from this guy.
So you're a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, so see, that's why we all have this logo now.
Right.
Yeah, because you're guilty by association. That's a thing still, right? That's still a thing. So I don't know. I'll give it another shot. See what's up. But mostly I just go back to the shop. Get in-store credit. You can get more that way, I guess. But now again, now you're around, you're a little bit, more familiar, then you can get a lot more if you try to sell it on your own.
Right. And
there's a give and take, hey, it's an easy get rid of boxes. Here you go. Like one time I went to my LCS, my dad was ill for a little bit, and he lived in Southgate. So he lived in Southgate. This is 2017 timeframe, and I sold him four boxes of silver, and he gave me enough for in-store credit and to buy my flight. My round trip. Yeah. So I know I had some stuff in there. I know I did. But the thing is, the way I was able to part with it was like, hey, it was X-Men, it was Marvel. You know,
You're totally away from all Marvel stuff now.
kind of. You know, I'm finding my way back in. But when I started, I was like, no, Batman, no, Batman, no, Batman. Oh, this is no Batman. Now, you know, a little bit. I could say I think I've read enough Batman. Like, okay, you know, maybe I can have a little bit different taste now. I could, you know, venture out and read and still enjoy it. But yeah, there were some old oldies in there. Some were water damage, but I know they were like Steranko covers and that sort of thing. And even if they were, you know, he knows how to clean and press and that sort of thing. And he showed me what he did with those books afterwards. I was just blown away. I was like, wow. You know, because they had like the waves, you know, and
Right.
and some of these I was like, dude, could you even open them? And you open it and then you hear it, you know, you hear that. So I was like, dude, this is still sellable. Like, hey, you know, I don't want to rip you off. Look, full disclosure, this is what I have here.
Right.
You know, but even so, you know, I still, what is it? 4-5 comic boxes, $700 or so. So,
Wow.
So yeah, and again, there were some were water damage, low grade, that sort of thing. But again, at the time, hey, I just wanted to go see my dad. I didn't have enough for a plane ride. And I didn't go there while he was at the hospital because my brother gets to do that. He has a, you know, pretty good job where he could just leave and, you know, emergency, that sort of. I don't.
Right.
So I was like, hey, let me be there for recovery time. So so that's what I did. But yeah, and then lately, yeah, I've gotten rid of one or two. I've posted them on Instagram, and some have gone away. Some surprisingly haven't. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, maybe I could, you know, going back to the slab talk, maybe I could press, clean them, send them in, and that way I could guarantee the grade. And I think they're higher grade ones. But you know, why do you go get slab to verify that it is?
Right. And that,
you know, they might be off their game a little bit, but guess what? They still have the name recognition. And if they're off their game a little bit, it's a 0.5. It's not, they're not going to be off their game that much.
right.
You know, if I say it's a 8.0, are you like, oh, are you sure? Like, you don't know who I am. But if I have the slab saying, hey, dude, this is a Silver Age book, 8.0 white pages.
Precisely.
Yeah. So I might just do that. Because I have like some early Avengers books that I posted on Instagram for a little while, and only 2 people did hit me up. One purchased, and the other person was like, "Oh, hold up! Oh, payment! Oh, yeah, okay, I'll get back to you."
Right.
Yeah. So I still have them, and you know, how do I, you know, how do I grade them? Well, you look at them, right, and you try to get the guide from the Overstreet. You try to follow that. One thing. Why do I have a couple of slabs extra that I don't need? Well, you kind of look at the grade. Like, hey, this CGC gave this Batman black cover a 6.5. And I'm saying like, okay, this is a 6.5. This is roughly what a 6.5 would look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I would use those as a gauge. When you get a books back from CGC, they give you that little 1-page pamphlet that tells you the grades. What does a very fine mean? A very fine minus, and then they give you the number. They give you the number. Yeah.
Right.
And the one thing I haven't found, and I've been trying to look for, is the owl card. The one that
I've only seen it online. I've never seen. I've only seen the picture on Instagram and stuff online.
Correct. But I want a physical one, right? It was at Arkham Comics, right? Las Vegas. He always talks about having a, you know, the owl card, and it's cool. You know, I've been trying to look for one. I haven't found one. Even when I do a couple searches every once in a while on eBay, I can't find it. Because what is off-white white? You know, what's cream and what level? And there's a few in there too.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But yeah, I think that would help. But I would, you know, some of these books, I'm like, okay, they're from the 60s, and I'm willing to bet they're white pages. And you know, Silver Age, yeah, you do have some, but sometimes you don't.
Right.
And, yeah.
And I've heard, because what you're bringing up is a really interesting dilemma, because we are not professional graders, and the hardest thing to grade is anything from that 3 to 7 realm, you know, maybe 7.5, because anything after that starts getting easier, meaning, the higher the grade, it starts getting really easy. Oh, it's a tick. It's a, 9.6. It's a, I mean, that's
Yeah.
easy. But when you start getting into that middle ground, it becomes almost subjective to the person, because we are not fucking professional graders. Either
Correct.
the person selling or the person buying. So their image of, oh, this is not a 6.0. I agree. I think it's a 6.5. The guy's like, it's a fucking 5.0. It's like,
Oh, that's very good. No, very fine mindness. Very fine. What? Yeah, it gets confusing.
and like you're saying, that's where having that third party comes in. Remove all that fucking bullshit. Read what they say. I don't agree. You don't have to agree. I paid for a third person to tell you what it is.
Right. Yeah. No, because then, like, what if you God honestly believe, hey, man, this is a 8.0, then you sell it and someone, hey, dude, this is a 6. I paid for an 8. No, I sent you an 8. No, this is a 6.
Right.
You get into that mess. So especially with a higher end book, with something that could fetch like $300, $400, yeah, just maybe get it slabbed. I've only been in it for about, going on 4 years in this comic game and stuff. So, no, I'm not an expert. No. But what do? I listen to the scuttlebutt at my LCS. I go to other ones. I click on the mouse. I'm here, and I try to get all opinions. You agree with it or not, but you could take something from it.
Yeah, no matter what, and this is what I found with not only all the channels that we have, throughout the YouTube, but at all the various LCSs that you can go to and so forth. There's nothing else that what there's always offered is education. It's a matter of can we extract it? Even in the worst case scenarios, that we've come across, there's a lesson there to be learned, and it's just a matter of how do we handle it? You know what I mean? Because I'll tell you right now, there's been times when I've not physically told someone to fuck off, but I let my wallet do the voting for me. You know what I mean? I've not physically said certain places, but I didn't need to, because you hear all the other places that I do say that I go. You know what I mean? So I guess my way of saying something is not saying something sometimes.
Yeah, you go to these places where I've had it where I did my digging for the couple hours and I found some, some minor keys maybe, and then they look it up on the register. Oh yeah, we can't let this go for $1. It has to be 30. What? Dude, well, eBay says, well, you put it on. What's it doing here? But
Yeah, eBay didn't store it in the dollar bin. eBay just told you what you want to charge me from grabbing it out of the dollar bin. Well, yeah, no. If you're telling me that, then this is what I'm telling you. I like what you're saying. I was here for 2 hours. What you're telling me is I brought to you what you want to charge me is roughly, because I'm guessing, $40 worth of book, between the $1 being the one book being $30 and a couple other books. So if I'm presenting you what in theory is to me $4, but the reality you is you're telling me there's a $36 difference, then I am now charging you $19 an hour to work at your shop, and I get these 4 free books.
Yeah, and so what do you do? You vote. You vote.
I walk.
You vote with your wallet, or you talk with your wallet, and guess what? I haven't been back.
Well, and that's one thing, but you've also heard me say too, like I've had like cards made up, like business card styles, and I walked in there and go, hey, you know what? You've seen me in here half a dozen times, right? Yeah. Well, have I even given you my card? I'd love to possibly do an interview with you, or if nothing else, throw a shout out with you. Oh, really? That'd be really nice. Cool. Can I get my pull? Oh, well, we're gonna have to charge you extra for that. I did give you my card, right? You know what I mean? Just by bringing up simple things. Oh, yeah. Okay. As long as we're clear.
Yeah.
And you're overcharging me for something that I've been a patron to you for all this time, and you're getting a short-term gain, but a long-term loss. I'm just asking you to be certain. And so when I get people to try to get them to make acknowledgments of certain things, it's hopefully they will backpedal, and if not, then I'm just okay. But I also have to make the amends that I live in an area, as you well know, that, I mean, I got like 50 shops in a 25 square mile radius. You know what I mean? And so at any
Yeah.
point, I can say, okay, I'm out.
Right. And it's sad sometimes people are not afforded that area too, that luxury of having that many LCSs. But that's why these online things exist. That's why people are going to YouTube, Instagram, or eBay.
Well, even the flip on that though is I will, let's say, to gain a certain amount of respect or a certain amount of rapport, so I can then use that as leverage. I can walk into a shop and say, I've noticed you don't have any CGC. So if they say yes, say, well, you do realize that if you sell CGC, you can then develop a rapport and a relationship with them to where you now can name a witness for your own store. You understand that? And they're like, well, no. I go, now, what you're also doing is if you ever do any signing events here, you can have any of those person, even working here or not, to then be a witness. So you can then offer a larger option to your customer on how they may want to receive their signed book. Did you take that in consideration? Oh, wow. No, we haven't. Cool. I'll take my pull list now.
Yeah.
You know, so I will
Yeah,
frequently,
no.
I frequently will help shops out if they're receptive enough and say, hey, hey, you know me now. Oh yeah, what do you got going on? This book's going to be hot. I recommend doing this. You need to switch your area up to where you put your CGC over here, or have your signing events here, or you need to be doing certain events once a month, or whatever. You know what I mean? I frequently walk into different shops and I assist to the best that I can, and then from there, you guys know I used to do all kinds of my artist alleys and all that. I know so many people that I will then walk in the shops and say, when's the last time you did a signing event? Oh, we haven't done one in 3 months. Well, you want to do one?
Yeah.
You know, so I will, you know, I'm not in, even starting the show, this was to try to help a bunch of people out. It was never, you know, for anything else but to just help others. So yeah, I still, that allows, you know, leverage for people, you know, out there. I mean, that's why I'm even giving you and everyone else, you know, different strategies, I guess, to employ to your LCS. Because even if, let's say, what's coming up now, what's the local comic shop day, I've actually went to one shop that doesn't normally participate. I gave them the money to participate. So, you know what that does for me? I get what I want. He wasn't even going to do it in the beginning, and now I'm going to get every book that's going to be issued to him.
Right.
So, I mean, there's all kinds of different things that you can do depending on where you're at and who you can work with, you know. And I'm always constantly, I'm not saying trying to play different angles as much as I've learned that by helping others is giving me different angles. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Well, damn, dude, I appreciate you hanging on. Are those other guys supposed to do a show tonight?
Yeah. Z's gonna go, and then Bubs is gonna go
Sweet.
on for a little bit. He's thinning, talking about that discipline. That's pretty cool. And he's trying to thin the herd a little bit more tonight, and he wanted to, you know, get some input, you know, live or in the panel. So he, Bub's going live pretty soon, I believe.
Nice.
So
yeah, I didn't want to tread on anybody's parade. I got all my bags and books.
yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to think. Well, I don't know if you knew what I do is I use I basically only use Silver Age size, and then I use different type of bags. I use my lights and regular bags.
Yep.
My lights are for anything worth over, let's say, $20, and every signed book that I get goes into my light.
Yes, I started similarly. You know, Emerald City here in Seattle. You know, Claremont would come up here, and so Gabby is a fan of Claremont too. So I have his. I was like, oh, I don't know if a regular bagging board is good, you know. So yeah, I started doing silver with the Mylar 2 mil, and yeah, that way when you're doing this in the box, you could tell. Oh, look, this is it's in a Mylar. Why? So that's one way of doing it. Because I was like, man, you have to have everything. See, you know, because you know, again, you brainstorm, you think of things, and they're like, no, you know, just keep it for yourself. If you did this, Chris Claremont did this, read a couple pages, then signed it, and then talked to you, and then offered you some of the cookies he had in his hands, and he goes, "Very good. All right, here you go."
Then it belongs in a special board and bag after that.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and so and then Terry, Rachel Dotson, I have some of those too in my light and stuff. Those awesome people. They're up here from the Pacific Northwest. So
That's awesome.
so I was like, okay, all right. And again, you figure out, okay, well, let me put two boards in there. Oh, okay. All right. Keep it a little bit sturdier.
How's that work out for you?
I like it so far. One of my fails, I guess. Oh, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Harden. He's on Harley Quinn. Chad Harden.
Okay.
I've learned not to bag and board and do that thing late at night.
Uh-huh.
I once set it on the edge of the table, and it did that. So the next day at work, like, oh, dude, I had this book that was like a 9.8, now it's like a 7. Because okay, just with this, I don't care. So it was a black cover, and then it just did this. It just did that. And then you're like, oh, dude. Oh, and it was the Harley Quinn 25th anniversary or birthday issue, his cover. And when I went to Emerald City, he said this, oh, okay. I haven't signed this cover yet. And we talked about that. And so, yeah. So what did I do? I went to try to look for another one, but this is obviously months later. So I bought another one, and I'm just waiting for him to do another round, to come up here. But the other Harley Quinn I've had, he signed it. Amanda Conner signed it. Paul Amati signed it.
Oh, wow.
So, and that's the one I want to try to get as many people's on it. And do I need it in a slab? No. But that one is in a thicker Mylar double board, and eventually I'll work towards what are those called, the top loaders?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll go that route. But not right now.
That's the next route I do is once, if you go Silver Age My Light, you're not going to get it inside the regular top loader. You have to go into the modern size, but not the current, but the modern. It's a hair bigger. It's that eighth of an inch bigger. They do fit inside the top loaders perfect.
Okay.
So the beauty about that is you still have your stiff board, you still stiff bag. If you get the top loader that's also rigid, you know what I mean, then you're solid. There's just files in there, and it looks bitchy.
Yeah. And and if I need more than that, I don't care. I'll get the certified label, red label, purple, whatever it is. But I know I went. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. Hey, whatever the pictures in the background or whatever. But yeah.
See, it's like a graduated process. You go from your regular dragon board to your My Light to your top loader to slabbing it. You know what I mean? And that's my normal evolution.
Yeah, the I have She-Hulk #1 in the top loader. #1. And what else do I have in there? I have another Batman book I had signed. It's not even worth whatever, but Dustin Nguyen signed it, and he was really nice and really cool. And all right, cool. It's in a top loader. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. No, again, and those are the books. To me, I like I said, I'm a signature slut, man. I like my books signed.
I didn't think I'd become a hound too, like an autograph hound. But it's kind of cool to get in. Oh, hey.
Well, I didn't like everyone says, you got to collect the way that you feel comfortable collecting, and that's a matter of what you're comfortable spending, how long you're comfortable standing in a line, and everything in between, right? Spending on eBay, auctions, whatever you are into. So me, I've always said I like the personal aspect of getting a book signed. If I don't have that luxury, I go other routes, but I do like putting a story to my stories. And when you get a signature, you tend to have a cool little story in the head and something associated with it than just reading the book or,
Uh,
you know.
I've each time I've met Claremont, and he could talk a little bit, and so I asked him at the time. I was like, "Hey, so what do you think about Captain Marvel?"
Oh, wow. So he gave you an earful, didn't
Oh man, he gave me a 25-minute answer, man.
he?
It got to the point where Gabby's like, I'm like, well, dude, he's still answering my question. Let me introduce you to my neighbor I just met 3 minutes ago as we were waiting in the line. Hey, this is Ted.
You could do the same thing with Neil Adams if you talk about Batman first generation, second generation. No, what do you think of it
Yeah.
modern compared to the first show? Dude, you can
Yeah.
get him going
So
for a
one thing he was at Emerald City one year, but one thing that scared me was the sticker shock on an autograph, and I was like, I mean, I get it. You're a pioneer. You're one of the first guys. Hey, man, dream come true to do that. What do you do? Oh, I drive Batman for a living, and whatever. That's awesome. But dude, come on, man. Like, hey, I look rich, but I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Know,
All right. It's like, oh,
my
but
my fuck up tale with Neil Adams is that I went to his opening of the Krusty Bunkers here, and he was offering one free signature on whatever you brought him. Yeah, I forgot to get my book signed. I end up meeting other friends of mine there. Other artists, other creators. One of which, Aldrin Awe. Hey Buzz, if you're out there watching, and I hadn't seen him in shit since 1992.
okay, yeah, a
So
little
I'm
bit.
like,
Yeah.
hey Buzz, how's it going? We're just shooting the shit. So an hour and a half goes by, and I keep looking over his shoulder, and Neil's still, signing stuff away. He's busy. He's talking. I figured out,
I got plenty of time.
a couple of friends of mine come in. I get distracted. I end up walking out, going home, going, I did not just.
There you go. Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm not infallible.
Right? Yeah, no one is.
But like you're saying, to miss out on an opportunity to get, a free $100 signature is like, I did not just do that.
Yeah, one that same year, Stan Lee was there, and I'm saying like, dude, he's still doing autographs? Really? I'm like, okay, I'll show up an hour early. No, it was too late. It was too late, and then I think even some of the people got shorted. I think, and then I don't know. They talked to him, maybe set up another signing for the following day, but I wasn't there all 4 days.
Right.
But yeah, then the following year, yeah, he passed away. But I was a little like, oh, I don't want to be that guy, because I mean, he lost the love of his life, right? Everyone knows that, and like we're like, dude, he lost the love of his life. How long is he gonna,
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was stubborn. He was stubborn too.
Oh God, yeah.
I
think that's what kept him alive.
That's what kept. Yep. He was stubborn too, and that's what he wanted to do. And you say no to that man.
Yeah. No.
Exactly.
Plus, he's even as he got older, he still had, to me, because this is my story with him, is I've never been able to see him at a con, and things never lined up. But I was coming out of one of my shows at CBS, and he come walking out of the elevator from the artist entrance. I almost walked right into him. So I stopped, I looked up and went, oh, hey, how you doing, Stan? How you doing? And I took like 2 steps back, realizing, holy shit, you're tall, and I took a couple steps back to look at him eye to eye, not straight up and down. Like,
yeah.
Well, you're almost intimidating, because he kind of hunches over and looks at you. It's like, oh, fuck. But yeah, he was a nice guy. I didn't have a luxury to really talk to him that long, but
no,
yeah. And it was around the same time you're talking, because it was within 2 years that he had passed.
Yeah, and the closest I got to him was the little entourage or the huddle of people he had around him,
Mm-hmm.
like 70, 80 yards away. Like
right.
At least I could say I was in the same building as him. That was about it. That's about.
Yeah, it was one of those times where I was thinking to myself, and I don't have a comic with me, you know. And then I was thinking as I was walking away, seriously, Kevin, as many comic books that you had, you really think that you would have been like a lottery, had that one to sign for him? Seriously? No, I wouldn't have. Yeah, but it was interesting to see him. You know, it was
Yeah.
You know, my son was the one that got me back going into the conventions because I wasn't doing any of that. So my son was really into all the anime and stuff like that. So it started with anime conventions to regular Comic Cons. And being that I knew a bunch of people, I ended up getting press passes to get in.
Yeah.
So I was really hoping this year was going to be a good year to go ahead and, you know, I mean, run into a lot of the people that we've interviewed, but two, get a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that people normally don't get.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm still hoping maybe next year we'll see how things work out.
Yeah, you know, same here. You know, this year we're Bueller, Hack, Sleepy, Bullseye Bob, Sam. You know, we're supposed to meet up again because we did meet up in February, and we were supposed to meet up, you know, at SummerCon. And you know, I went down there to meet up with them, and you know, really nice guys, and you know, again, the con, you know, you get like have a little memory, you know. Sometimes it's amazing that this dumb, stupid book paper, and yet you get to make friends and talk and interact and build memories and share good times and stuff, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, hopefully, you know, we all get our act together, and hopefully, you know, those open up back again, you know, modified or with whatever, I don't know.
Actually, that's a great point that you bring up.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up the symbolicness of actually what we do, because what we do in this community is more than just like what you're saying, playing with toys or reading books.
Yep.
It really is. You know what I mean? And not only that, but it's rare that you can get into a hobby that you can actually get a value back out of the hobby. Does that make sense? You know, you can resell your things, whereas most hobbies, you know, you trash your clubs, you know, golfing after a while, or your surfboard, you're only going to get pennies on the dollar, you know. So, but with books, sometimes you actually get a reward for your interest, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the reward is not just monetary. You develop relationships with people that you wouldn't normally even ever come across.
Right. Yeah. No, you know, who's this Bueller guy? Who's this Sam guy? Who's this Bullseye? Who are they? You know, what? You know, but then it's funny. You get here, and you chat. Hey, you've lived you've cruised the same streets. You know where the beaches are at. You know where's Venice. You know where, you know, that sort of thing. You know, Bullseye Bob, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm like, all right, cool, man. You know, that sort of thing. So I talk about family in Texas and that sort of thing, and you know, where they train and the Romo fumble, you know, or you know, or whatever, you know, the triplets, and it's funny sometimes. Sometimes this world could be a little small, and
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it's funny. How'd you get to know this guy? Oh, comic books. What?
Exactly.
The other day, you know, Z's from my area on the eastern side of the state, and you know, message back and forth and that sort of thing, and then we hung out, and you know, just went, you know, bin diving, you know, and that was awesome, and you know, he was very welcoming. He was there with his kids and stuff, and they were nice and everything, and it was cool. I'm not a father or nothing, but you know, I am an uncle, so you know, hey, shake their hands and that sort of thing. They get shy, then later on, oh, they're talking. Okay, he must be cool. You know, here's a hug and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
And that's my point exactly. You know, these comic books sometimes are nothing more than just symbolic aspects of what we're into, and what we're into is, like you said earlier, you know, these ways of escaping or enjoying someone else's escape, or the fact that we get to enjoy someone else, you know, that is also reading the same story, you know, all these different things. So when people talk about collect your way, it even goes up beyond just the books. It goes beyond the community members that we collect in our journeys, you know, which is, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, yeah. Knowing where you're at, I gotta hit you up if I ever make it to Cali back down there again.
Oh, no.
I still have family. I have like 2 uncles, 4 or 5 cousins down there. Um,
I'm right
but
off of the LAX, and that's the thing I tell everybody is, you know what I mean? I'm so when it comes to Comic Cons, I want all the artists and creators and all the people that, you know, like yourself, YouTubers, and all the people that want it, you know, hit me up. Use this as a hub.
yeah,
You need somewhere to fucking crash. You need somewhere to throw
yeah,
your clothes. You need to change. You know, fuck, here, this is it. You know, shit.
yeah. No, and it's funny when you talk about like LAX, like these some of these SNL skits. Yeah, you did. You take the 605, then you hit the 105, you hit the 425, you get the 103, you get the 93. Oh no, you took a wrong turn. You gotta go east on the 105. You gotta go 60 no, you know, and then that sort of thing. Oh man, but yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah, you know, LAX. Yeah, and it's funny. When I lived down there, I'd tell this hey dude, if you need a ride. I'm not that far, and people would actually hit me up on it. When I would visit over here, I have a few friends that live by SeaTac. You know, hey dude, pick me up. All right, cool, whatever. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Perry? But yeah, you know, hopefully, yeah, these con season need to come back and see what's going on.
Yeah, you got to definitely, you know, check out Cali once again, man.
Yeah.
See how fucked up we are again. No, we're just as mellow as always, and just as
Right.
angry as always when we get on the freeways. Off the
Yeah,
freeways,
but
cool people. On the freeways, we become different people.
yeah, same. Seattle's the same too. You know, the only time people are really friendly on the road, you need to go to Portland.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they're like, you go. No, no, you go. No,
Oh, stop
you
it.
go. Nope, you go. Yeah, that's they're more that way. They're more that way. Really bike friendly and stuff. So that's cool too. Cause I have a road bike. So that's awesome. So
Hey, how much you ride?
yeah,
I used to ride all the time.
not anymore, not as much as I used to. But when I lived in California, I would at least do 100 a week at least. And then I had some buddies over. One guy was from Orange. And then we'd go to Anaheim. Where was he? Irvine
Oh, okay.
off of Jamboree, and I
Oh,
forget the name of
shit.
the I forget the name of the trail, but we go around the back of Irvine, go down to San Juan Capistrano, and then take the highway back up, and that was like 60 miles. So we used to do those on the weekends.
And that's through all those hill areas like that Laguna.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know that area. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck, that's a
so
ride,
yes,
man.
yeah, so we used to do that because we were training at the time to do the Beta LA,
I don't know
and
that.
then it's San Francisco, Los Angeles, I think it was,
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't get to do it. I trained for it. I didn't get to do it because job thing, didn't happen in LA anymore, and I needed to come back up here. Um, and then we did the Santa Barbara to Los Angeles. That was
Yeah,
110 miles. I've done Seattle to Portland a few times. That's 210, 20 miles, something like that.
nice.
And I tell people, hey man, you could ride. It's just the saddle time. The saddles, it's the hardest part is the saddle, you know. But yeah, I have it's a Diamondback Podium 4 all carbon, Shimano 105.
Damn.
I kind of had money at the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a $3,500 bike.
Yeah, so yeah, at the time it retailed for 35 to 5.
Yeah, okay. That's what I
Yeah,
mean. Because I
yeah.
used to ride also. I used to ride from about
Yeah.
150 to 250 miles a week.
Mhm.
I was part of the Peninsula group to here in Palos Verdes. We'd ride from
Okay.
PV all the way to Santa Monica area.
Yeah.
So that was our route. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, when
yeah,
one
my favorite story to tell is I used to ride here on the Strand, and I ate shit so bad one time. Just wearing my cycle shorts. I
yeah.
ate shit so bad one time, ripped my shorts right off my body. So when I got up, I was naked. I had all
Oh
these chicks
wow.
going, "Thanks, man, cool show." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
cool.
fuck." So,
Yeah.
you could take your shirt and you just put it on like pants and tie it off, and had to ride all the way back home that way.
No, you got me beat. So when we hit Venice, there was sand
Yeah.
on the path.
That's where I ate shit
And
at Venice.
yep. And what happened? People were either, what is that called? Like rubbernecking or checking
Yeah.
out some girl or some guy or whatever, where they cut me off. Well,
Oh,
guess what? You try to hit the brakes and swerve, and you can't turn that sharp. So I ate it, and I broke the light off my handlebars, and I punched the ground. So like I had all bloody knuckles, and my right knee had a little scar on it and
oh,
stuff. Because
well,
you try to swerve and you can't. It's sand,
it's
and
ice. It's
yeah,
just brown ice.
and you know what I'm talking about. Some people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, dude, how come you didn't?" No, they just went. It
Yeah.
just goes out from underneath you. And dude got up. And he saw what happened. He's like, "Bro, I'm sorry, bro." And he just looked at my face. He's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like,
No.
"I'll be."
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm sure it was longer. I don't know. To me, if oh man, I don't know how brief it was, but he got the message. He's like, "Oh, dude, my bad, my bad." And I'm like,
That's exactly
"Yeah,
what happened to
yeah,
me.
bro. Watch where you're going."
I
I
hit.
wasn't. I wasn't speeding. I wasn't speeding. Maybe pedaling 5 miles an hour. If you pedal 3, you might as well be walking.
Right.
But I was just letting the it's flat. So you pedal a little bit, you let
Yeah.
go, that sort of thing.
Yeah. You derail.
Um,
You sit there. You tap it, derail. Tap it, derail.
yeah,
Yeah. You're going walking
yeah,
speed.
yeah. But yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, I was clipped in. I was clipped
Right.
in, so it's not like I could have hopped out of it. So
Right.
I was
No.
clipped. I was clipped in, and yeah, but I think, but it didn't hurt till like an hour later. I think by then, like the adrenaline, like was
Mhm.
over. But yeah, I had like all my knuckles were kind of exposed there for a little bit. And yeah, you're wearing gloves and stuff, but they're the fingerless ones, so no,
Right. Now, I'm
no.
way unlike you. I wasn't good. I just like to ride. I wasn't. No, not and because I would come across groups. You know how it is here in LA. There's groups, man, real groups. So we'd had groups come by, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna test myself. I'm gonna see what I
Yeah,
can do. Oh fuck, these guys just doing pace. You know how they'll sit there and they'll do the rotating of who's coming up.
yeah,
Sit there, and next guy come up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep pace with whoever's the anchor guy at the time. So they would rotate, and I'm just trying to keep up. And whenever they would
yeah,
hit anybody, whenever they would even start hitting a hill, and they would decide that they want to push a pace, or they would, take turns doing different type of exercises, up hills and stuff. Fuck no, I couldn't keep up.
yeah, no. And that reminded me of something. Also, did the Great Fandango in San Diego, Century Ride.
I know that one.
Yeah, so I did that one. Talking about hills, did that one. And yeah, these I've Seattle to Portland, that's where I've learned where you draft and then you fall out and guy replaces you, that sort of thing.
Right.
And the group I was with for the Bay to LA, it was 6 of us. So we had, 6 guys going, and safety in numbers too. One of
Yeah.
our guys, he kind of fell back a little bit. He's like, "Oh no, continue." A truck hit him.
Oh,
Yeah, a truck hit him, and luckily nothing happened. And at the time I was and I was like, "Oh, dude, that truck went around me for real. That blue one, yeah, dude, the blue Chevy." I was like, "Damn," And then later on, we're on Pacific Coast Highway. You switch. The point guy, he ran into a door.
oh no.
Someone
Yeah.
opened the door in front of him. He ran into a door, and he broke that guy's mirror or something like that. I don't know what he did. And we just left. Like, dude, watch where watch what you're doing, watch where you're going. Share the road. That sort of thing. But
My
yeah,
other,
no safety numbers too, because
yeah,
hey, one guy might have a tube, one guy doesn't have a tube, one guy might have a pump that broke,
right.
and and you don't even think about it. You're like, "Oh, dude, let's just go out for a ride." No, you got a quarterback and you got to plan a little bit. And
You
luckily, the
do.
guys I was with, we had a couple of those dudes where I didn't have to worry about anything. I'll just show up. I have my couple of water bottles on my frame. I have a tube. I have a tire. I have a pump.
Nice.
I'm good. And some of the other guys had GPS and that sort of thing. And
Oh, okay. See, yeah, no, I never had
yeah,
shit like that. That was, yeah.
same here.
Fuck,
And then
that's
one
really
time
good.
I was like, "Hey, dude, okay, this is how long ago it was. My iPod." I was like, I pulled over, like, "Hey, Agu, why'd you pull over?" bro, my iPod is stuck on Britney Spears. Oh, dude, how long has that been going on? Like, dude, you've been listening for that on loop? And I go, yeah, dude. It was, oh, no,
Oh
pull
my
over.
god!
They're like, dude, pull over next time. Like, all right, yeah. It was one of those iTunes purchase where you want one song, back in the day, but it was just the album is on sale, so fine, you buy the album or whatever. But yeah,
I used to race my brother. He would be in a car and I would be on the bike, and we used to go certain places. Hey, I'll meet you at da da da. All right. So many a times I'd race him from my house here to his house, which was on El Segundo Boulevard. It's roughly like 1.5 miles away. And being that he had to hit the lights, and I would, a lot of times either I would just beat him or just lose. Well, this one time I knew I had him. I'm coming around this right-hand turn. I went a little wider than I should have. I took the apex wrong to where I went in shallow and came out real wide. So I went into oncoming traffic. It was a stop traffic, but I hit a cop straight on, flipped right up onto his fucking hood. And I'm looking at him no more than like, I don't know, 4 feet from his fucking face. And he's looking at me like, I had to hit him at doing like 25 miles an hour too. I had to have, because I slid all the way up to his windshield just looking at him.
Oh man, and that was so funny that because I was down there and I kept on getting pulled over. People didn't believe me.
Yeah,
I had Washington State plates in a convertible car in Watts and Florence and Linwood. And it didn't dawn on me that some lady at a teriyaki place told me, "Hey man, you young? You got that car and you're Latino? You getting pulled over."
Right.
And I didn't think I was like, oh yeah, statistically what they see every day, that would make sense. And each time they bring out the translator. Because how many times have they heard that? No habla, right? So when they pull me over, like, hey, they're like, good evening, officer. And then I hear this, I got it. They don't need the translator.
Right.
But no, most of the time, they were cool. I didn't have you just, hey, answer their questions, do whatever they want. And, they're looking for marlins. They're looking for big fish.
Most times they're not.
Yeah, so most of the time, I got a wave, or they, the car had a Marine Corps logo. And what is that called? I don't know if it's called the parking pass, but the permit pass for the Fort Lewis up here in Washington, because it was my brother's car.
Oh, okay.
And so they talk about the military and that sort of thing.
Right.
They're like, hey, wait a minute. Your brother's in Iraq, and you're in Southern California in his convertible? And I was like, yeah, I'm just doing my part. But yeah, no.
Definitely.
Yeah, but no. And, I think sometimes they understand. I think some of them might have military background or something like that. But yeah, no, the stops, the sobriety checks. Why is it that my plate is the one that always gets picked? And I know it's my plate because they look at it. They're like, oh, this guy's from out of state. He's in this part of the,
yeah,
the city.
It's bullshit. It's profiling. They're sitting there going, hey, look, it meets this. Let's look at this person.
Yeah, let's look at this one. So it was a Firebird with the flip up lights, right? That's the car I had. All right.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I'm in Watts, and I took a left turn, and I think it was I think it was Imperial.
Okay.
And there's the train tracks. Well, guess what? On the left turn, the light flipped down because it was flimsy, right in front of a cop.
Ah.
So I'm sitting there. I've heard all the bad stories before. This is the first time I got pulled over. And that's where I saw the guy. I got it. I'm like, well, what is that? What does that mean? And then later on, you see the Latino cop, the translator. He just waves by. And good evening, sir. How are you, sir? Thank you, sir. All the sirs comes out, all the mannerisms come out. But it took him forever to download my information from Washington State Patrol and my driver's license. But he was really nice. Hey, the computer is just slowing down. And we're just sitting there talking. Then eventually he comes back. He's like, hey, yeah, you had a ticket, just one, huh? I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, hey, man, get that light fixed. Hey, we'll see you later.
Nice.
Cool. He understood. Hey, dude, sorry, man. I didn't mean for my headlight to go out in front of you. I explained it to him, man. But yeah, I wasn't gonna mouth off or do nothing, but I admit I did get a little scared where I like texted my cousin. I was like, "Hey, dude, I got pulled over. I don't know what's gonna happen. How long you been there? 10 minutes." He's like, "Dude, text me back in 10. All right. Hey, dude, I'm still here." He's like, "Oh, dude." He shows up. He's like, he looked at him. He sized him up. He's like, "Nah, dude, he's probably just looking at the computer crap." I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But having my cousin showed up, just like, it brought me at ease. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to. But yeah, again, what the neighborhood too.
Well, there's all the circumstances you didn't want to play out. It's like, fuck, man. I'm in an area I don't normally be in. I'm in a car
Yeah.
that doesn't look the best I get, and
Yeah.
now I gave you a reason to pull me over. Damn it.
And I've had the ones where like one cop shows up and then the guy looks at you, he's like, there's no action here, and he takes off.
Which
All right.
then that should tell you right there. If you have 3 cops behind you and 1 in front of you, you might as well sit there and go, okay, something's happening. I'm going. I'm being processed here.
Yeah.
The guy in front is making sure I can't bail because he's waiting on a tow truck, and the 2 guys in back are just backing up the guy that initially pulled me over.
And it was
not that I would know.
Right? Yeah. No, I would. Oh man, I could so many times. One time, got pulled over. I got asked to exit my vehicle. I'm like, what? All right, cool. Then he's patting me down. I was like, what?
What?
Yeah, right. Apparently there was just a drug bust or whatever, and the light bulb on the back license plate went out. So that's why I got pulled over. But they didn't tell me this until like 20 minutes in. Cop goes, "Hey, is there something in your pocket that could poke me?" You know what I did?
My penis.
I laughed, and he was like, "I know, but I have to ask the question." I'm like holding it in. No, officer, there isn't anything that could poke you. But yeah, hey, put your hands behind your back and release your fingers. And I'm like, what, really, dude? What? And I'm from up here. Crap like that. I guess maybe it happens or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't certainly don't hear about it. But
right.
But when you go from like Seattle to like what is it, 20th biggest city in the U.S. to the first, tied for first or second, depending what New York is going on.
Right.
Yeah, they see stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I tell people all the time. I go, look, what you got to make the consideration is it's just a numbers thing, right? So if you, and this is the analogy I always use, if you have 10 rats in a cage, they're going to be fine. They're going to develop a great society. They're going to have a great relationship. You throw 1,000 rats in that same motherfucking cage, and you're going to end up seeing shit that you've never seen before. That's LA.
Yeah. No, it was, put it this way. It was a culture shock even for me. When I lived down there, I was like, man, I'm glad I know Spanish. I was like, I'm glad.
Well, and the flip side of that is, like I always say too, is there's a lot of hell to pay for heaven. There's a reason why a lot of people want to live here. Think about it. There's a lot of contesting for jobs. There's you're sitting there schooling because you're competing with everyone else. It is, again, for either work or even where to live or whatever. They wouldn't be doing that if it wasn't a halfway decent place to live, Yeah. And I'm not saying we have all the greatest weather or whatever. It's just that another thing I tell people is, other than the only place I can think of, which would be New Zealand, where else in the world can you drive an hour one direction and hit the mountains? An hour another direction and go to a desert? An hour in another direction and go surfing? One thing I purposely did is I woke up one morning and I went skateboarding, then I went surfing, then I went skimboarding. You know what skimming is, right? You throw it's a board that you throw on a light skim of water on the beach.
Oh, okay, yes, I've seen it. Yep.
So I went skimming, skating, surfing, boogie boarding, rode my bike, jumped in the car, went to Bear Mountain, went skiing, threw my skis off my feet, went snowboarding, and then I went to the Palladium to go see Fishbone, No Doubt, and Primus play.
That's cool.
And I mean, again, where there's so few places in the world that you can do that in a day. In a day.
I remember I remember one day, yeah, I'm cycling on Pacific Coast Highway, and then the next day I'm over at Mammoth.
Right.
Like that's freaking cool. I was like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, we have Mount Rainier, we have, Stevens Pass, we have, White Pass, we have all these places up here, and I'm like, California snowboarding? Because I didn't pack my snowboard. Why am I gonna pack my snowboard when I'm gonna go live in Los Angeles? And then later I'm like, no, dude, we go all the time. Like, all
Yeah.
right. And then one of the trips that I flew up here, I packed it, and yeah,
Yeah, Summit,
no,
Bear.
that is a good point. Like, yeah, you could hit the beach and hit the mountains all in a day if you want. Go ahead.
If you're in the hiking, if you like, grabbing your, because I got a bunch of buddies of mine that, go out in the desert and they ride their bikes and shit. And this is the time of the year they like doing it because it ain't burning them up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're hitting dunes all over the place, the rails, all that stuff, so there's another time of the year that, some of my buddies that they like to go out and there's a couple things out in the waters here that are swimming. So they'll do their deep sea thing and then they'll go take off from there and they'll go over to the lakes. And before the end of the night, they'll go ahead and hit a couple of fresh water. They eat that as they're cleaning the salt water, and it's there's so few places that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fucked up, but it's a good fucked up.
Yeah.
Depending on if you can make it work, and it doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah. No.
But
no,
shit, I get all the cool comics, so it works out for me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Cool.
Hey, Agu, how about we call it here at 6:47?
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna go probably grab me some food, but I'm sure I'll end up seeing you on the other places.
Yeah. I'll be in the chats. Hey, Kevin, thank you so much for letting me on, man. It was fun.
Thank you. It was a fucking blast, man. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate it. You take care, and you guys at the community, thank you very much. I know we made one announcement here, which was yes, Z and I are going to be doing a show. The other announcement before I leave is JB and I are also going to be doing a show, which is also going to be cultivated around selling books, a whole new way, a whole new platform. And we look forward to seeing you guys there. This is going to be happening within the next 2 weeks. And thank you from us at 1-2 Comic Talk. I'm out.